all doing? I am excited to be here. This is part three in the Grow Your Audience series, and we're talking all about how to grow your audience using joint webinars. Okay. So quick backstory before I give you my little intro. I've been doing webinars for a really long time. I started doing webinars back in, I want to say 2014. And it was all because I came online, and started talking about, sharing my story with people, sharing my experiences with people. And I really wanted to figure out, a way that I can get consistent sales, right? And so I started off with selling, digital products, little downloads for about $7. And I would get sales here and there, but, obviously that wasn't enough. And so I needed to find a way to get consistent sales. And so I decided to do my first webinar after being on tons of webinars. I was like a webinar junkie, doing a lot of my learning on other people's free webinars. And so I decided to do my own webinar. And when I did that, I feel like that's when I finally got my footing in this industry, right? It's when I finally started getting some clients. I actually started becoming known for teaching webinars. People started inviting me on their platforms to train their audience on how to put together presentations. And so webinars is my thing, and a lot of people try to say that webinars are dead, but it's not. And I'm going to prove that to you today. I'm also going to give you a strategy that I believe will help you grow your audience really quickly by using webinars. Okay. So if you are new to the Female Coaches Society, welcome. My name is Niala Thorpe. I'm a marketing and income strategist for coaches. I started to doing sales at about 18 years old. All right. So it's about 20 years ago. And I started with selling Kirby vacuums to housewives in Brooklyn, New York. Okay. And that's where I first, started doing presentations live, because whenever we would go into someone's home, we would have to show them, how the vacuum works, how it cleans it. It was a presentation, a live presentation, and it's called a sales presentation, right? And that's kind of like proving what I mean when I say a lot of people is going to tell you webinars are dead, but it's not that webinars are dead. What's dead is those sleazy, salesy webinars. What's dead is those fluffy webinars that keeps you on there, giving you all types of information that tells you nothing. And then at the end, they want to sell you a $10,000 program. You're like, what? Right? Those are the webinars that's dead, right? But webinars where we are educating, where we are building rapport, where we are helping our people, they are not dead. They are still alive. People call it masterclasses. People call it presentations. People call it workshops. You can put whatever name you want on it. It is a way for you to teach, to sell, because that's really what you're doing when you're a coach. So you have to understand that as a coach, what you're doing is you're selling a promise. Okay. And I say this all the time. When people are selling, tangible products, they're able to give you features, right? They're able to tell you what's so great about their product, the color, the durability, where they get the different materials from that makes their products. They could do all of that to get you in to their product. But when you're a coach, essentially what you're selling is a promise. You're telling people, pay me and I promise you I'm going to help you lose weight. Pay me and I promise you, I'm going to help you grow your business. Whatever industry you're in, you are selling a promise. And so that means that in order to instill trust, proof, and confidence in your ideal clients, so that way they can want to work with you, okay, you have to educate them. Okay. And I hope that I'm making sense here. You have to educate them. We're going to talk about webinars, but honestly, what I'm sharing with you, it goes around the board. All right. Even when it comes to your social media marketing. All right. You're in the business of making sure that they understand how you are the solution and the process and how you help them. Make sense? Okay. So this is why I say webinars are not dead. And this is why you want to use this type of strategy. Now, when I first started this strategy, I was doing solo webinars. So that's me, like what I'm doing right here. Let's just say this was set up as a webinar and I had slides or whatever. It would just be me coming and teaching my audience. But like I've been saying for the last few weeks, my audience started to dry up. So it was the same people showing up on my webinars. And I needed to find a way to grow my audience. So one day I'm on Instagram and I seen two of my peers, Maya Elias and Mariah Cause. They were doing a joint webinar and it was all about growing your email list. And I jump on this webinar and I'm like, OMG, I watched these two ladies teach their heart out, give a lot of good info. And then at the end, they sold an offer and people were buying like hotcakes. And I'm like, ooh, that got to be something that could work for me, right? So I took some advice from them or whatever from watching them, and I found somebody who would do the first joint webinar with me. And let me tell you something, 303 leads in 7 days is what I got on my first joint webinar. And that would not have happened if I did not do my partner webinar with someone who had an audience and who was willing to share me with their audience. So I hope that you're seeing the trend of what we've been talking about every week with this Grow Your Audience series, is that when you are utilizing other people's audiences, you are going to grow faster. Okay. And this is the reason why you're even seeing the change in this group is to challenge you and to urge you and encourage you for you guys to work together. I was talking about this with my co-admin, Demetia, last night, is that, you know, a lot of people, a lot of leaders will make you guys feel like you're doing something wrong if you are, you know, using older strategies, but they never tell you that on their way up, those are the strategies that they used. Okay. And so I want to let you know today that what you should be doing is looking to partner with other people in your industry so both of you can grow faster, genuine partnerships. Okay. All right. So let's jump in. We're talking about, this is the content part, and I'm going to give you like my top tips with doing joint webinars. Okay. So number one, you want to make sure that the partnership that you're trying to do with someone else, that it makes sense. Okay. So you want to make sure that you complement each other. All right. So let's say you are in the credit industry, right? You might want to partner with a finance coach, right? Somebody in the finance industry would be a great place to partner. Maybe you're in the industry like me, you're in the business industry, right? So one of the things is I focus on messaging and marketing, right? I don't really focus on Facebook advertising because I love the whole organic side. I've been able to grow a multiple six-figure business organically. And so I love organic marketing, but Facebook advertising works as well. So I can partner with another Facebook ad expert who would be willing to come in my community and teach you all, right? Why would that work? Why would we complement each other? Well, because you as a business owner, you would look at learning how to do Facebook ads valuable because you can use that for your business, right? But the info doesn't have to come from me, right? So this is what I'm saying when I say you want to make sure that whoever you're trying to partner with, you complement each other. You want to give it some thought, okay? Now, I remember one time, and I'm not going to share who the person was, but I remember one time that I reached out to someone because I thought it was going to be a good, partnership. But I wasn't clear on how we would be great partners, And when I left that conversation, to be honest with you all, I felt like, oh my goodness, I could have done better. I could have taken a moment to really think this partnership out on how this, training would have worked and how it would have been a win-win for both of us. But instead, I approached that person only having a win for me. And that's not how you want to approach people, because have you heard the saying before that everybody, they're thinking about what's in it for them? Right? Yes, we care about you growing, and but the world, they're still thinking about what's in it for them. So when you approach people, you have to make sure that you complement each other and it's a win-win situation. Okay. Number two, the next thing is, if you want your joint webinar to really help you to grow your audience as well as grow your bank account, then you need to make sure that you have a great offer. Okay, you want to make sure that you have a great offer. There are two types of main offers that you can sell when you are doing joint webinars. The first type of offer is an affiliate partnership. Okay, let me explain. Who did this? ConvertKit. ConvertKit is the software that we use to do our email marketing. So I remember maybe about 5 years ago, when ConvertKit was really starting to get bigger, they started doing joint webinars with different coaches and leaders online. And what they would do is they would teach all about email marketing, like how to get your first 1,000 leads, right? And then at the end of the webinar, they would offer a trial to the ConvertKit software, and it would be $1 trial. All right. And I was on many of these webinars, so I remember this. And what I would see is that they would get like 500 to 600 people who would pay $1 to get this trial, this 30-day trial to their software. And then just me knowing the back end of how businesses work, I'm pretty sure that at the end of that 30 days, they were retaining about minimum 30% of those people. Okay. And so that's how they blew up and had so many people using their software, using the same strategy that I'm sharing with you today. So what happened is the leader brings a representative from ConvertKit to come on their platform to teach their audience, and that leader is an affiliate for ConvertKit. So that means those 600 people, right, that decided to get that $1 trial, that leader is getting a commission for all those people who decide to stay at the end of the 30 days. Make sense, guys? All right. So if you've never heard of affiliate marketing before, affiliate marketing is a way to get paid off of other people's products. All right. And so that is a good way to do a joint webinar with somebody. I remember last year, I think it was last year, I bought one of my colleagues in a platform to teach you guys about webinars. Go figure. And it was the same thing. I was an affiliate for her program, and any of the sales that she got after teaching that webinar, I was able to get 50% of those sales. Okay. And so for those of you, this should be really making a lot of you happy, because if you're someone who's been selling your services and you are not really reaching any results, and maybe you're in a position maybe you're in a position where you cannot get help right now, then affiliate marketing is a great way for you to start getting paid right now. Okay. And so you could do joint webinars right now without even having an offer for yourself. All right. So I hope that you guys are really paying attention. Here's the second type of offer that you can do when you're doing joint webinars, that you could sell when you're doing joint webinars. And those are bundled offers. Okay. So write that down. Those are bundled offers. Okay. And so what that just means is that the two people who are coming together to do this webinar, they're going to put together their products, their programs, whatever their services, and they're going to offer a bundled offer to their attendees. Okay. These are the two main ways that you can really become profitable from doing joint webinars, and also making it a win-win for both you and the person you are doing a joint webinar with. Okay. Here's my third tip when you're doing joint webinars. And it kind of goes back to what I was just telling you about my colleague that I bought last year to teach about webinars. I did not teach with her. And I thought that this was something for me. I thought this was something important for me to mention to you all, is that you don't really have to teach in this webinar, and you can still grow your audience and still convert and get clients from this partnership. Okay. Because you can bring someone on your platform to teach and be an affiliate for them. You see what I'm saying? And you don't have to teach anything at all. So let's just think about the other day when I bought my mom to do the small business tax workshop for you guys. Now, we don't have an affiliate anything because we're in business together, but let's just say it wasn't my mom and we weren't in business together, and I was an affiliate for her offer. Then that is an example of what I'm basically saying to you guys. I didn't teach on Wednesday. She came, she taught, she gave y'all all the goodness, but I could have still grew my list if it was a webinar, and I could have also generated funds and, grew my bank account because of that partnership. So understand that with joint webinars, if you are in the position where you're not confident enough to teach yet, or you're just not there yet, it's okay. You can still do these partnerships and you can still benefit from it. Now, I hope you guys are seeing what I've been trying to say to you for the last 3 weeks since we started this Grow Your Audience series. At the end of the day, if you want to grow your business, you need to be focused on growing your audience, because in order to get clients, you have to have people to talk to. Number one. The second thing is you got to be focused on building rapport and building trust, because when you are looking for people to, again, trust that you can help them with the problems that they have, then you have to prove it. And how do we prove it? We prove it by teaching. Okay. So don't let anybody out there tell you that you shouldn't be focused, or, you're teaching too much. I mean, I hear people say that too. You're teaching too much. That's why people aren't buying. No, you're never teaching too much. What may be the problem is that you're teaching and not giving offers. That may be the issue, but there's never such a thing as teaching too much. I hear another statement that a lot of coaches ask, a question that a lot of coaches ask me, which is, Niala, how about if I'm giving too much, right? What if I feel like I'm giving too much, and because of that, that's why people aren't buying. So this is like a bonus tip here, guys. There's no such thing as giving a lot, giving too much when you're in the coaching industry, because people are not purchasing education. I'm going to say that again. When someone joins your coaching program, they are not purchasing education. They can get that on YouTube, on Google, and from the million other coaches that's out here. What they are purchasing is accountability, guidance, support, and your guidance through a specific roadmap or framework or process, whatever word you want to call it, your process, okay? That is what people are buying when they come into coaching programs. So there's never a time where you're going to be teaching too much. You understand? And I feel like that whole teaching too much belief is what has so many people giving fluffy information, because they're trying so hard not to give you everything that they're just giving you the fluffy things, right? And so again, another challenge for you guys is to give it all. Give it all, because when you teach, that is how you're going to trust. That is how people are going to trust you more. So when you're doing these webinars, don't be afraid to give it all, right? And so let me show you live, okay? And I'm not selling you anything. By the way, guys, I'm not selling you anything today, but I want to show you live how I can take this whole teaching experience, what we just did for the last 20 minutes, and show you how I can still sell to you, okay? All right, so I just finished teaching you about joint webinars, gave you some good tips here, right? And now I'm going to say to you that, listen, I hope that you'll go and run with this information. I hope that you will go and find partners, right? Use my freebie that I have in the title section of this live, and go and use those pitch emails and get some partnerships. And then come back and tell me how it went, the results that you got. But if you are somebody who you want to really dig deep in this strategy, and you want to know, how can we come up with the best topic so I can find the right people? How can I get that win-win situation so I can pitch the right people and I can get those yeses, right? How can I put together the best offer, right? So that way me and my partner can really get results from our joint webinar. Then book an appointment with me, right? And let's see if and how I can help you. Do you see how that works, guys? Do you see how that works? So I could come here and I could teach you everything about webinars and still get people to hire me to help them put together their own and create their own webinar partnerships. Okay? So never think that you're giving too much. I hope that makes sense with you all. Muriel says, I am setting up an affiliate link for my program with System.io. Awesome, Muriel. That's great. Tell me below, what's your program about? And don't forget, everybody in the group is watching. Make it good, right? Make it good. Tell us what your program is about. Okay, guys, so let me see. So here's the last thing that I have with you. I have a challenge that I want to challenge you all. The first thing that I want you all to do is I want you to list 3 people or companies that you can partner with. If you want to list it below and I come back and see what you wrote, that's fine. You write it in your notebook, that's fine. But I want you to write down 3 people or companies, because depending on what industry you're in, you might want to partner with companies, okay, bigger companies. So when you write it down, 3 people that you can do a good partnership with, okay? The second thing I want you to do after you write down those 3 people or companies is I want you to start engaging with them, all right? So this is important. Before you go and pitch someone to do a joint webinar with them, you got to engage with them. I want to use one of our squad members, Carol. She was here last month and she was teaching you all about growing on social media. And I was sick then. So I remembered I was supposed to show up with her and I couldn't. And she came in and she taught you all, right? But she built rapport with me, okay? We met years ago at an event that I spoke at. And over the years, we have stayed in contact online, and she built rapport with me. And so she came in the inbox and she said, hey, Niala, I'm launching my program. And I know that, some of your audience members might be interested in this topic. would you mind if you can join with me, be an affiliate for me and let me teach in your Facebook group? And invite people to my webinar. And I was okay with that. And I would be okay with that for anybody as long as it's valuable and it's really going to help my audience. Okay. So she came, she asked me, we went through it, and that was it. I wasn't even here. She came in the group, she taught you guys, she did her webinar, and I hope that it was really successful, right? And so that is it. That is why I'm saying to you that you have to build rapport with people before you try to pitch them. So the way you're going to build rapport is you're going to start engaging with them, engage on their platforms, make a purchase. That's another thing, guys. I'm going deep with y'all. I'm giving y'all the stuff that other people would not tell you. Okay. If you want to know how to get leaders to say yes to you when you're trying to pitch certain things, open up your wallet. You don't have to join their big programs, but you can buy something small and then give them a review. Say, hey, Niala, I joined your Master Your Message workshop. Oh my God, it helped me. Here, I wanted to give you a testimonial on, how your product helped me. Okay. And that is how you're going to get on their radar. Okay. That is how you're going to people start to look at you, take you seriously. Like you're not just coming for something. Again, I don't want to sugarcoat it with you all. I want to tell you the real deal. All right. So you got to build rapport. It starts with engaging, and you could go as far as making a purchase so you could really get on their radar, because people love when you buy from them. And when you buy from them, that is an easy way for people to pay attention. They're like, oh, well, you're a customer. Let me pay attention to you. Right. Number 3, after you engage with them, then you're going to send the pitch email. And guess what? Your girl gave y'all the pitch email. So again, go in the topic of this live stream. Download my partnership power pack. In the power pack, I give you all of my emails for free that I use to pitch people. I give you an email when you're pitching someone you don't know, even though I'm not advising you to do that, because I want you to, build that rapport a little bit. You might not be friends with them, but know enough, right? I give you emails to pitch a friend or colleague, okay? I give you emails to pitch companies. I give you emails to pitch live events. I give you emails to pitch different smaller groups. So you get a whole pack of all my emails that you could send to pitch people. It is amazing, and it will work for any industry, okay? So those are the 3 challenges I have for you. One more time, write 3 people or companies down on your notebook or below. Start engaging with them, and within 7 to 10 days, I want you to send them a pitch. But do not forget, it has to be a win-win. You all have to compliment each other. You can't be competitors. You got to compliment. And even if you are competitors, you got to find a way to compliment, because I have partnered with competitors before. We just wasn't in the same specialty, if that makes sense. Okay. So we may have been competitors because we're in the same industry, which I don't really believe in competitors, but people use the word, so I'm saying it, right? So we may have been competitors because we might be both marketing strategists. However, we both got different specialties, and what we taught, it did not get in the way of us growing. And here's another thing. Oh my God, my wheels are turning. Here's another thing. Guys, understand that everybody in your audience is not going to buy from you. Understand that everybody in your partner for this webinar audience is not going to buy from them. Okay. And so what you're going to notice that's going to happen when you start doing these joint webinars is that some of your audience members are going to leave because they're going to gravitate to that other person. And the same thing is going to happen with that person. People are going to come over to you because they might hear your story, or they might like your teaching style, or whatever. They're going to come over to you. So I need you guys to understand that it's okay to partner with people. It's okay to let people tell you and put in their groups how they help people or what they sell, right? You're not going to lose people, because who you are divinely aligned to serve, they are your people. Okay. And this is the reason why you can hear the same training from 10 different coaches, and it would not hit you the way it needs to until you hear it from the person that you are supposed to be working with. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh, it makes sense, even though you've heard this info before. All right. So do not go into these, don't stop yourself from using this strategy because you think you're going to lose people. You can't lose people who weren't your people. All right. All right, guys. So I'm gone. I love you all. Thank you for listening. Again, go download those pitch emails and I'll speak to you all soon.